What's up, everyone? How you doing? So, I'm going to show you today a surefire way that, come hell or high water, you could be making 100 to 150, 175k an hour. All you need is a starter ship of any kind, some VLRTs, and last but not least, a little bit of patience. So come join me. I'll explain what we're going to do. First thing you want to do on our journey to 40k, because that's what we're going to need to start this process. Come down here to hit mercenary. I've already accepted it. You want to hit call to arms. That'll give you a little bit of money for every individual hostile enemy that you dispatch. Second to that, we're going to come down here to bounty hunter. And what you're going to do, this list won't be as extensive as yours is if you're just starting out. You're going to probably have like a tracker training certificate. You have to do that first and then do whatever local systems bounty assessment. Once you do that, you'll have VLRTs. So they are 4,000 aUEC a piece, so you have to do about 10 of them. But once you do 10 of them, you'll be able to do this. Maybe do 11 just to be safe, but however many number you do, and if you happen to have anything higher, like HRTs are 11 grand, LRTs, MRTs are 7,500. So you'll have to do a few, but we'll grab an LRT because that'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. And then we'll go from there, and then I'll show you the next step. One down, and ultimately doesn't matter how you make that 40,000. This is just one way. You could do bunker missions, you could do protect site missions. That's a different one as you get higher up, but it doesn't matter how you do it. But you need 40,000, 45,000 to be safe, depending on where you want to go. So after you've done a good number of them, you won't have this much, obviously. But what you're going to do, once you get your 40, 45K, ideally about 45K, because where we're going is going to be a hot planet, you're going to want to head back to a mining station. So in this case, ARC L1 is where we're heading to. Per L1, Crew L1, Mick L1, those are all mining stations for the major systems. There's many more, but for argument's sake, we're going to keep it simple. We are then going to head down to the refinery, and then that's where we're going to do our next step. So we return back to our hangar. If we got our 40K, we're going to come down here. We're going to go to the refinery. And once the elevator opens, just take the path that I'm taking.
Report to the manager's office if you think it's yours.
And what we're going to be doing is, because we're going to go to a hot planet, so we're going to need a couple of things. So first of all, this is where you get all your mining supplies from, which is what we'll need. But you want to come down here into like the equipment office. Come down the rentals here. And you're going to want to rent a Cutlass Black for 34,631 aUEC. And a Grey Cat ROC, or ROC, for $42.99. So that'll bring us pretty close to 40,000. But where we're going to go is we're going to go to one of the couple of planets where there's lots of hadnite, which is the most expensive items that there are. So we're going to want one of these, which is 14 grand. So you, like I said, you're going to need a bit more than 40,000. You might need close to 50,000. But bare minimum 40,000, they can kind of go anywhere that you need to go. And you could buy these by either right clicking on it or F and then buy. And same thing, you want the helmet as well. And you want a backpack. Or you could come over here into the refinery shop. And you would think that that's considered armor. No, it's considered an undersuit. So you want the undersuit, which is for 14K, and then the helmet and the backpack are armor. So you don't really need that, but you'll need that. So you'll need probably closer to 60,000 to actually start. But if you want to just start just bare bones, it's very easy to do. You could go to planets like Magda or Ariel, Lyria, although it's a little cold, so you're going to want to make sure you have something heavy on. But now we're going to go call our Cuddy Black in, and I'll show you where to get the rock from. I found this set, but it is still a Pembroke suit. It's designed for warm weather, which is what we're going to need. But you also want to make sure before you go that you have a tractor beam on you, because you never know when you're going to need it. A tractor beam. Make sure it's got a tractor beam attachment in it. Med gun. We're going to throw that onto that, because you want to make sure you have a max lift as well in case your rock breaks down. Then at least you have something. I'll put a med pen on. Bring another one just in case. And this is unnecessary steps, but we're going to grab this then there. Just in case someone decides to mess with us. Stick that there. Because you never know, especially with rock mining, whether you don't know when someone's going to be coming or not. So you want to make sure you have a little bit of everything. Most importantly, do not forget water. You make sure you have lots of water. So we got a bit of hand-to-hand stuff. We have our max lift. We have a railgun, just in case. So now we're going to call in our Cuddy Black.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
And then what we need to do is we need to go down to
Your vehicle has been delivered to
we're going to a mining station, grab our rock, and we're going to start mining. Okay, so we're in our ship. We're going to set course for Hurston. That's where we're going. Your main places for Had Night are going to be Aberdeen and Daymar, which is your most expensive. Your most valuable materials. So it's Had Night, Aphorite, and then Dolby. With the way certain mechanics are now, you can kind of go with kind of grabbing everything. But you're going to want to make sure that you're grabbing at the very least Had Night and Aphorite. Dolby isn't really worth it, but if you got nothing else that you're grabbing, and that's what you can do. All right, we've arrived at Hurston, so now we're going to go to Aberdeen, and we're going to a mining station where we can pick up our rock, because it is a ground vehicle, and we do have to go to a mining station to pick it up. Okay, so basically we're going to be looking for, if we're going to Aberdeen specifically, but if we're in the Hurston system, HDMS. If it's a mining, like Shubin Mining, it'll be Shubin Mining something or other. But because we're working in the Hurston system, HDMS, and R-Corp, it's R-Corp Crusader doesn't have mining facilities itself. So when you're over in Crusader, you'll see either R-Corp Mining or they have the research stations over in Crusader. So we'll just jump down there, and then when we get landed, we will we'll show you how to get your rock. Alright, so we've now landed at our mining site. We've arrived at it, actually. And then what we're going to want to look is we're going to look for these two blue pads. That's our Platinum Bay. This is where we're going to pick up our rock. And our rock, or ROC, is our land vehicle. And rule number 1, whenever you're leaving your vehicle unattended, shut the engines off. And I'm going to go out the side door, but you're going to want to make sure that you shut your ship up behind you. And we're going to come over here. And now you see down here, this is why we need, especially coming to a hot planet like Aberdeen, you have to have this, you have to have the hot suit on so that you have a very long time out before you end up essentially dying because of heat-related injuries or heat stress. So that's why we have this ridiculous-looking suit on.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
So we're going to come down here. Ooh, Grey Cat Rock. Okay. So we want our Grey Cat Rock. What we're going to do is we're going to deliver it. This is the first time spawning it. If you happen to be playing with it and you're using this video as a guide for later, that's fine too. And then we're going to retrieve it.
Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been...
While you're here, loot some boxes. This is a good time if you need like food and water and that kind of stuff. Mining stations are a great place to get that. To get resources like that if you need it. Okay, so we're gonna hit where is it here? Enter driver's seat. Now, word of warning. The rock in 322 is a little buggy. It can be a little patience testing.
Systems activating.
But it's not entirely horrible. So W drives forward, S drives back, D turns the wheel right, and S turns the wheel left. And you have to be always going back and forth. M activates the mining arm. But thing is, we're an armistice, so it won't do anything. Oh. See, there you go. Example of a bug. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to, when that happens, come down to power and items. And arbor mining laser. I want to turn it on. Please hold. When we're back, we're in a spot. There's a spot to get it loaded. I'll be right back. So there you go. Okay, so when your arm gets messed up like that, what you want to do is you want to come down here. You want to turn on the laser. I'm going to turn on the laser and the mining arm because it's a little buggy that it doesn't come in activated. Okay, and then remember what I said. You always want to make sure that you shut your ship up, because specifically another ship came in throughout me doing this recording, and it's now on the pad over here that it wasn't there before. So anybody can come in and steal an open ship. Open up our Cuddy Black. Get back into our driver's seat. Okay, and then we just take our time. We go nice and slow. We got to hit F4 to go into fourth person. Go in just nice and level. You want to go in straight because you want to make sure you stay straight with this, because if you get stuck on either side, it is a pain in the butt to get it out. Okay, we'll just leave it at, we'll actually put it all the way forward so that we can get in and out. Power off with you. Y to get out. Shut our door. So in this case specifically, because we got those couple of kind of potential unwanteds. And then what we can do, there's two different methods here. We could either just take off right from this mining station as it sits, or what we can do is we can go up, try dropping off to one of the other mining stations. Problem is, the mining stations, everybody looks for everybody around the mining stations. That's the problem. So we're going to try. You want to stay away from Klesher. That's prison. They have size 7 torpedoes that hunt you down and deal with you later. A friend of mine who does rock mining all the time, I did it way back when I started, says that HDES is a good place to go. So that's what we're going to try. Okay, so a couple of controls you're going to need, like I covered in my flight basics. You want to press V to bring up your scanner, and then check your key bindings, but you're going to want to increase your ping angle to 180 degrees, and you're going to want to long hold V and release. I'll bring up any signals. So when you're first starting, you're going to want to chase down each signal, but as you get practiced with it, you don't want to come into the ground too fast. You're going to find that gems sit about a like multiples of 600. Oh yeah, that's gems for sure. Oh no, those are asteroids. Yeah, these are asteroids. Yeah, well, I'll show you what asteroids look like. Okay, so that's an asteroid. We cannot crack that with the rock, but we can crack that with a prospector. And that's more than likely rock as well. That's 1800, or initially in 1700 and 1800. Gems show up under about 4K or around 4K. And it's also very important to note, which is why I like Magda. It's that the spawn points for all of your stuff doesn't change. So once you kind of get a route, at least as of 322, once you figure out a route, you're good. Those are raw. Those are gems, because they would switched over to markers. So now I showed you what asteroids look like. Okay, you see how they're all grouped up like that? That means they are gems, which is perfect. See what they are. If they're aphorite, see, look. See the gem markers, just like that. Can't see the ground. There it goes. Alright, let's see. What are they? So you can either, if the scanners are working right, you can bring up your scanner and then left hold the trigger. And I'll show you what it is. Had night and all the kind of stuff that goes along with it. Or you can zoom in and you see the pink. That means that is had night. Aphorite is blue. Dolvine is green vein. So I think I'm landed right. Oh, I'm landed right there. That's not going to work. There we go. So let's shut our engines off. Let's go full power to shields. Get out of our seat. We're going to open up our back door and get in our rock. So a little trick that I use, I always leave my ship in the direction that I'm going to be getting into my, like, exiting my rock where I can still see my ship. Okay. Just back out slowly and carefully. Remember I was saying how they literally measure the Cuddy Black, and so yeah, this just fits a rock. You want to be careful with coming in and out of it. So you can hit L for some lights, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and around here, around the back end of it, so that I can still see my ship while I'm doing my thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit M.
Fracturing mode on.
Of course.
Mining
You're not going to work.
on.
Okay, so we're going to come down here. Remember how we said these would be a little bit buggy? Come down here to our power. Turn on the mining laser. Oh, come on. And then turn on the power to the laser arm. Okay, so that didn't work. Perfect. Okay. So sometimes you have to get in and out of your seat. Sometimes you got to play with the power. But left mouse fires your laser. Right mouse changes to extraction mode.
Fracturing mode
And your default is left alt and mouse wheel to change your power. I, however, have it changed just to mouse wheel. And we just apply the power to it. And we want to try and get that into the yellow, or not green there. Once we get into the green, drop power from 100% down to about 35 to 40%. That seems like at about 48%, 50%. Somewhere in there to maintain power levels. And boom. There. And then all our little gems will be on the floor. We just do that until we break the entire thing up. Then once we break the entire thing up, we suck it up all at once. And then we just rinse, lather, and repeat. And then this is how you make a good bit of change in money. As a newbie or a starter, that's reliable, regardless of what the meta is. This is how you do it. And you just keep fluttering your mouse up and down, however it looks like, however you need to keep it in that green. Now you don't want to overcharge the rocks though. And the reason being, if they overcharge, you might disable your ROC, or your ROC, however you want to pronounce it. And we don't want to do that, but with access to the storage bin and a big heavy backpack, you can move however many rocks or any diamonds and gems as you need to out of your ship. Versely, you could also tractor beam, which is why I got the max lift. Bring the tractor beam out and move your rock into your ship and move them that way. But all I'm doing is I'm just bringing it up 100% full power once it's in the green. And then just flutter it anywhere between 30 and 50%. Break it. Break the rocks. And the reason why I'm breaking all the rocks first is because the extraction beam sucks them all up in the area anyway, so it doesn't make sense to go through the whole area twice when you only need to do it once. But once I get these broken up, I'll come back. And then I will show you what extracting the rocks looks like. So now that we're all broken up this deposit, right click to flip over extraction mode. And then we just let the extraction mode suck up the gems. Alright, that's good enough for me. As you can see, things sometimes don't fit the nicest or they don't sit nicely, but that's okay. Yeah, the bugs will vary patch to patch, what you end up having to deal with and fix. But I'll update with release videos from there. So what you can do is you could sell both on station at admin terminals, or what you used to be able to do too was sell at the mining stations here as well. Which was always a positive, because you could literally, you know, as you get 1 or 2 SCU at a time, because you can move stuff from your rock to your ship to store it all. But, oh, do is we're just going to show you roughly how much you could make. There's the trade building. I think it's over here. So we're just going to land here. All right. So these orange marked buildings here, they're the trade stations. Essentially the same thing as admin terminals. So if you're doing hand mining or if you're doing rock mining like we are, you can very easily, should be able to sell stuff here too. Let's see. Let's see, can we sell our Hadnite here? Yes, we can. Okay, so we have 538 units, which that just means we have 538 gems. But we had 0.6 of an SCU. And that took us about 35 minutes to get 0.6 of an SCU. So in reality, if you had a good flow going, you could make anywhere between 150k an hour to 300k an hour doing this method. And you could sell your Hadnite and or your anything you mined at mining stations. But with that being said, thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for the next one.